Welcome to Real Flix Reviews Movie News. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston. And this week's question is, what movies can't you believe they made? And our answers coming up in a bit.
Forgot the question.
And a little piece of movie news. I actually thought this was funny. This is actually talking about the new Beauty and the Beast, the live action. Why Belle doesn't have Stockholm syndrome in Beauty and the Beast. And my comment was, then it's a little schadenfreude.
Yeah, no joke. Really? There's a whole article as to why she doesn't have Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, I did read
I guess if people want to go see Stockholm syndrome, they could go see 50 Shades of Darker or some shit like that.
Darker Shades of Grey.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I couldn't read it because I was laughing too busy at the title.
Oh, the title's horrible. Hold on, I got a bit of movie news I want to jump into. Guillermo del Toro has finally said Hellboy 3 is 100% not happening. Poor Ron Perlman. He was really going for that.
No.
He really was.
Now he has his new character in Pacific Rim 2. Guess guarantee he's going to be it. Honestly, I'm kind of happy he said that. Just the fact that as much as I liked Hellboy, I just got tired of everybody saying, oh, it's going to happen. It's like, no, it's not. It's way too late for Hellboy 2. Because if he was going to make it, he would have made it before Pacific
I want
Rim.
Pinocchio. Come on, Guillermo. You said you were going to give us Pinocchio like years ago.
That shit.
What?
Damn, that would be awesome with him.
Right? I've been wanting to see it for so long since he teased us about it like years ago, but then I don't know, dude. Come on.
You know what I'd love him to actually do, and I think it'd be awesome? A BioShock. Now, BioShock, apparently BioShock actually got canceled weeks before it started filming, and I actually think it would have done, I think it would have been pretty good. I don't know what else you could have told.
Yeah.
But I thought it was such a rich story that you could have done something. I mean, what do you think, Ryan?
I don't know. I mean, the series itself, the actual games, I like that there's stories that are that good, that are unique to the people who actually play the games.
Like the Resident Evil?
I mean...
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
There might be the example of people who had a great time with the games, and then all of a sudden, here's your adaptation, and you're like, oh no, people are going to think that our games suck.
I thought that was Final Fantasy.
I like the exclusivity of just the gamers get to be told that story.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I remember when they did the trailer for the Halo, the one with the troopers. What was that one where they did the drop troopers?
Like Starship Troopers?
No. It was off Halo. Remember when they released that one that was where you weren't playing as Master Chief, you were playing as one of the Marines?
Oh, ODST.
ODST. So that one, the trailers for it, they did live action.
Yeah.
With a mix of CG. They were amazing. And I was like, I wanted them to take that and actually do something with that because it would have been so awesome.
They even did I think it was Microsoft. They did a short in multiple episodes about being like ODST troopers.
Yeah,
and the world was attacked. And at the very end of it, you saw Master Chief.
Yeah.
I think they could have done an amazing job doing Halo. I know everybody's problem was, how do you tell a story about a character that you can't see his face? And I was like, that's easy. I mean, because it's just like voice acting in a video game. You do it all by vocal inflection, and then however you have the dude in the costume move his body.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same way that they basically film sort of Deadpool, with those particular scenes. But you can obviously throw in for take your creative license and throw in his face or. Well, obviously, it kind of doesn't really mix with the story.
Since we're on kind of that thing of Keanu Reeves, just actually said a couple days ago that he would actually do another Matrix.
I saw that. As
long as the stipulation is that the Wachowski brothers write it, direct it.
They're just the Wachowskis now.
No, the Wachowski brothers. So
technically, they're the sisters.
Wow.
I don't think he's wrong.
And I was like being
right
rude. the last one though, I mean, the last Matrix,
The last
is
two.
so bad. Yeah, the last two.
I
I mean,
guess-
I could forgive stuff on the second one.
Well, see, the first one, because the first one to me was revolutionary. It was
Yeah.
one of the movies that I saw that had little hints.
and they had
like-
a green tint. Why did they
Yeah.
remove that?
And then you got to the second one, and to me, it seemed like they just didn't have enough time. It was almost like the studio was, going, we
They
need two
probably
crappy
were.
movies, because I think if they had enough time in maybe something, because you had such potential, and I was so let down by the second and third one. I was like, I would have literally waited 3 or 4 years between each movie instead of like a year like they did.
And it wasn't even the fact of Trinity's 9-minute death scene. It was just the.
No, but it makes for a great
It's-
story.
I timed it, 9-minute death scene. So, I mean, it wasn't even that. It was just like there was so much that was just bothersome to me from the last two. I mean, just. Yeah, it's like you said, they had it in the bag, and then they pulled the Shamalali dipshit lollipop or whatever.
Have they ever, and I don't remember off the top of my head, have they ever been successful with sequels? Because I don't know I don't remember if they've ever done any besides The Matrix, right?
I don't think they have. Right?
Wachowski's, no, I think they've just done sort of the one-offs since then.
I mean, Speed Racer was amazing,
I don't
though.
think that there was that much wrong with. I think it might have been a little early as far as the technology. It was obviously real prototypey when it came to, what they were able to do with the CGI.
Yeah.
But the second and third movies, I will fucking defend those movies till the day I die.
You know what's funny is you're one of the
It's
few
being wrong.
people I know that actually really like the second and third Matrix. 'Cause most people I know, they'll say,
I appreciate the overall story, and I don't think the ending came out of nowhere like some dumbass M. Night Shyamalan movie.
All right,
Well,
fine. I'll leave him out of this.
I actually agree with Ryan. I don't think it was out of nowhere. It was pointing to it.
It,
But I just
all
think-
kinds of things were pointing to it, and that's the thing is you can watch those movies over and over and over again, and you're catching new stuff all along.
Okay,
It is that type.
My
Let me just
problem
put it-
is I think part of the story, there was something about it to me that just seemed like it was done very fast. Something about it just seemed half-assed to me, and I just couldn't get into the second and third one like I did with the first one.
Okay. I kind of agree with you on that. I mean, as far as the second and third one, I thought, as far as, I mean, the story. I'm not bashing the story. What I'm talking about are the excessive scenes that were wasteful.
Yeah, I can totally agree with you on that. But yeah, the
I
story
thought-
was so good I had to overlook that shit.
For me, that was definitely the rave scene. I mean, I got the point,
Yeah.
but to me, it's like you have this giant
It didn't
battle.
need to go on for 12 minutes.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like you had this giant battle from humanity, and then you have this scene where you have this basic giant orgy, and you're like, and why do they, okay, machines, open the doors.
Well, and to me, it was some of the other sort of ancillary characters that had a little more to do with things that characters that were introduced quickly that you were meant to sort of care about very quickly and be sad when everything died and all of that. But if we were watching it like a Battlestar Galactica show where we had time to kind of fall in love with these bunch of different characters, 20, 30, 40 people, it might have been a different thing. Those scenes might have played out a little better. But yeah, like James said, excessive and maybe a little in love with their own atmosphere.
I do think in the first one they were able to do that a little bit with some of the characters, but yeah, I definitely think they kind of failed that in the rest of the movie. And a couple of tidbits of movie news. Kong Skull Island fans are advised to stay through the credits. You heard it here. And
are they going to tease him in Godzilla?
That would be awesome.
That would be the shit.
Him versus Tom Cruise. And one that I thought was an interesting choice. Warner Brothers courts Mel Gibson to direct Suicide Squad sequel. That literally shocked me. I was not expecting that.
You know what the funny thing is I've always liked Mel Gibson's directing sensibilities.
And you'll get more from us after this.
We haven't seen him in a long time, and it's not so much interesting as how his style might have changed, but how the landscape of movies have changed since he's around.
So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a Facebook page. There's some movie news you'd like us to see, or even a movie you'd like us to review. Please let us know, and you can also catch us on Podbean, Stitcher, and more. And our question of the week is movies you can't believe they made. And mine's a little obvious, but I'm going to go through it for it. And it's a movie we've reviewed. I think it's Real Flix Reviews, episode 99, Wing Commander. For the time, it was a series people vaguely remembered, if you want to talk about video game history. And they chose all the wrong actors because the latter of the actual video game series were live action. And you had Uwe Boll direct it, somebody who I actually think they signed a petition, like, we'll give you a whole lot of money if you promise never direct another movie again. So
I think I could make a movie that they would take over his.
So that's my pick.
On my
was
phone.
Wing Commander. I like the movie, but it is an awful movie. Redneck Zombies is technically a better movie than Wing
Redneck Zombies is awesome.
I don't know if I'll go that far. James, you're up.
I really... I mean, this one to me is like, I just can't believe they kept going. The dad from Family Ties. Why did you have to go and make a Tremors 5?
So
why?
Okay, I haven't seen
And
Tremors
they're gonna
5.
I would pick
5.
Tremors 6, but that's coming out in 2018.
So wait, hold on. So I haven't seen the last Tremors.
I actually saw Tremors 5.
So it's the guy from Family Ties is in it, just him?
Yeah, Burt Gomer is the only one that keeps going through the entire if he's not in it, they don't make a Tremors.
I'll be
That's
honest.
pretty much what they come down to.
He's the most entertaining.
He is, but I mean, as far as like the actual movie, he was a really side character.
Oh, he was a hardcore.
That got a
character.
fan base, and then they pumped out 4 more movies.
It's solely
And
based.
they're working on another one.
It's solely because Reba McEntire said no to the sequel.
I mean, I've seen Bloodlines. I actually watched it last month. For some reason, just on.
I have the first 3, or is it 4?
Well, I think you only have the first 3. I don't think you have number 4. But
the first 2 were awesome.
Yeah.
The subsequent ones, I think I've seen 3 and 4. I don't know if I was aware of a 5.
Wasn't 3 like Turtles in Time type of thing? It was back in the day.
Yeah, it was. It was like a...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, was it like
Flashback.
Wild West?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. I have the first 3. I didn't actually know there was a 5th one.
Yeah. Yeah, let me actually pull up. I think that came out last year.
God,
it came out in 2015. Sorry.
It's becoming like a Fast and Furious franchise.
Right? I mean, they got a number 6 coming in 2018.
But on the other side, I'd rather see this than on that latest Fast and the Furious franchise. Because at least I know it's ridiculous, and so I'm getting what I'm paying for. When you see a Fast and Furious movie, everybody thinks it's reality, and it drives me nuts.
I think I'd give the Wing Commander a full point more than I would give Bloodlines, which is Tremors 5.
There's and the problem is there's this stupid precedent that's been set where...
Did you just say the president's stupid?
Racist.
Not on this podcast.
All right, continue.
But, there's this precedent that's been set that... And I'm enunciating and shit. That we're being sort of sold back like these pieces of our childhood, and these big tentpole sort of old school remakes are being done. These are like the knockoff versions of those things.
Yeah.
You know.
So can I see the knockoff version of G.I. Joe? Maybe it'll be better than the first 2.
Well, that's the thing is just the fact that somebody made a G.I. Joe movie is like a knockoff version of bringing back some old property.
I'd welcome a knockoff version of the G.I. Joe because it'd probably be better than the shit they gave us.
Yeah.
Well, like every now and again, you want to see some updated things, like a new take on an old thing. But these are not those movies.
I want to see him resurrect Titanic in space.
I think.
Is Jason going to be on board?
Nah.
All right, Ryan, you're up.
Okay, well, just that we're probably not going to be doing this particular topic again. I figured I should mention a couple.
I'm sure we'll revisit.
So the following are sort of honorable mentions. The Smurfs movie.
Yes.
The Mask sequel, Son of the Mask.
Oh, God.
Is there only one sequel? I thought there were 2.
There is a
both
second one.
both sequels,
There's
both
4
sequels, the
Ace
official
Ventura Pet
and
Detectives.
unofficial Dumb and Dumber sequels.
Oh yeah.
But my main one, and to me this takes the cake because of the effort that was made to get this movie on in theaters, was tremendous. Wild Wild fucking West. That piece of shit somebody fought for so hardcore.
So I have a couple of thoughts. One, I actually kind of liked the movie. I thought it was fun. But the funniest thing about that, and I've watched a lot of TV in my time, I did not know it was a TV show when it came out. And out of everybody I know, I've watched a lot more TV and movies than them. I want to know who was interested in a property from the 60s, maybe 70s, that probably 80% of the population did not know existed.
Yeah, well, this movie was doomed from the beginning. And one of the only reasons it got made was because the director Barry Sonnenfeld. I mean, obviously the guy that did, Get Shorty and Men in Black and things like that. But a couple other things. What am I'm missing? I think I want to say he did part of The Tick.
Kevin Smith has a story vaguely about Wild Wild West.
Well, yeah, matter of fact, he does. In the An Evening with Kevin Smith back in the day, sort of the Q&A that he did, he goes into detail regarding some of the bullshit that was added to this movie.
Well, the funniest part is originally, if I remember correctly, the guy wanted to do a Superman movie with a giant spider and blah, 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 and I guess the writer of Wild Wild West or somebody said, Kevin Smith's like, did he want you to put a spider in it? He did! How'd you know? Type of thing.
Yeah, apparently it was something he's been trying to get into a movie for a while.
Well, he did.
He did, and the movie suffered because of it.
So I got a couple extra pieces of movie news. MoMA says Aquaman will take you to a world you've never seen before, and my comment was verbatim from Facebook, hey look, I can talk to fish.
Dude, I am so looking forward to that movie.
I like MoMA. He did a new Netflix series called Frontier, which is badass. Yeah. I mean, just badass. Really worth the watch. Gotta say though, I mean, they could have given him a better superhero to do than freaking Aquaman.
I'll give him this. He looks badass.
He's the perfect one for Aquaman, and Aquaman is an underrated character.
Come on, he's one step away from being the Wonder Twins.
No, okay, look, this is you're taking like the comedic approach to it.
No, I'm being serious. I mean, I've read the comics. I'll give you this. The one of the comic book live action DC movies they made when they brought Aquaman back, that to me was the first time that you actually saw an Aquaman that wasn't stupid. You had him have a backstory. You had him be angry. You actually gave him a character and a personality that wasn't fish. Do that, and that's it.
All right, hold on.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear him speak.
Okay.
Most of the comics and whatnot never. I mean, obviously, few of them only got into sort of like the backstory that he was half human and half Atlantean. I'm not going to get into the nerdy shit right now. But suffice to say that his abilities and all this stuff are sort of beyond what people, kind of tend to remember or know. Like, it's 75% ocean and whatnot. He kind of controls the ocean, like Poseidon god status. It's going to be a cool movie.
Okay. Hold on. I want to take this approach to it. Before Michael Keaton and Tim Burton made the actual Batman movie in the 90s, all we really had were goofy Batmans. I mean, you had Adam West. Yeah. And it was kind of goofy take on it. Tim Burton changed that with his Batman, making him more dark, brooding, and gothic world that he is in.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, because that in turn spawned the early 90s Batman TV series, which is badass and hasn't been done nearly as good as that one since. I'm talking about TV shows of Batman's, not the movies or the anime releases afterwards. I'm wondering if Morma could do that with Aquaman.
Here, I do think he could.
You know,
but
I
here's
want
the
to give it a
caveat, though.
chance.
You're talking about make this Aquaman a TV series?
No.
What
To
he's saying
make
is-
this Aquaman what Tim Burton and Michael Keaton did for the Batman character, turn him into a more...
See, that's the thing is,
depth.
I think we're going from sort of like, because he's always been thought of like John, probably like more like the 66
Well, you've heard
Batman
Kevin
kinda
Smith
goofy
tear into
character.
it.
Honestly, I do think you could, and I do think there's a good chance it's going to happen. The only thing I think is a risk is the fact he's being included not in a solo film, but in the DC kind of Marvel-esque style movies, and I don't think the DC movies are going to do well, mainly because I think people are so burnt out on these giant slugfest movies that Marvel's been doing. I think that's the weakest part of it for him. Because he looks badass. He
does.
He looks
individual
cooler.
movies
And I'm a big
don't
fan
have
of
the
him.
strength that Marvel does, so Justice League is going to have to be insane to overcome that.
I don't think collectively it's gonna do as well, even though I really love the Justice
Well, they need
League
to
stuff.
reboot Green Lantern. I mean, the Green Lantern movie sucked.
See, that's the thing is they're starting out with shit like Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, and Marvel started out with fucking Iron Man.
See, Iron Man for the time was a hell of a lot better than the Green Lantern was, but
Iron Man is almost a perfect movie.
I would say,
Ryan Reynolds justified himself with Deadpool, as far as I'm concerned.
of course, yeah, obviously he did it for the.
I think that's the reason why. I mean, I think they picked the wrong actor. You pick somebody who's snarky as hell, and honestly, Hal Jordan, who is the Green Lantern, was never that character. Now, if they picked somebody who is more reserved and more of a badass or something, I think it would have been a better character. He was definitely Deadpool.
You just need sort of the Daredevil, the sort of Maverick from Top Gun kind of character, less of the Deadpool-y mercenary character.
Yeah. And in another interesting news and continuing the Disney trend of live-action Disney movies, Nikki Coro will direct Disney's live-action Mulan.
They're making a live-action Mulan?
Yeah, now, I ask you an honest question. I personally don't see the need for this. Any of these. I don't think I'm the audience, to be honest. But I don't really see the point, besides a cash grab, of making live-action versions pretty much verbatim of their cartoons. Like, we talked about the Jungle Book. It was not almost verbatim, but it was pretty damn close to the cartoon.
Yeah.
It was pretty damn close. But I would like to see certain versions of certain things, remade, like them doing Beauty and the Beast. That's a story that you can do now that would probably look pretty amazing, live action.
So it's something you want to see versus me.
Well,
I'm good with the
I've
cartoon.
been vying for an Aladdin or at least sort of like a 40 Thieves story done live action for a long time now.
So
You know what? They should do Aladdin, make it rated R, and have Robin Williams' old stuff that from the Disney studio vault come out and let him actually be the genie that he was in the recordings.
You see,
dude, I know, right?
I'm down for a 40
I don't like that
Thieves.
thing.
I don't want to see, solely because of Robin Williams no longer being with us. I want to see 40 Thieves, but I don't want to see Aladdin. Basically, because of Robin Williams. I don't think you can't have somebody replace him. I don't think you could even bring back his previous recorded stuff.
Well, no, see, I'm saying Aladdin because I want a Genie and the Lamp thing. I want a Genie and the Lamp story.
Yeah,
now,
see,
it doesn't, I mean, I'm talking like it could be the sort of more adult version, of the story. Make it a little darker, everything's all candlelit and dark and whatnot.
Fantasies.
So who's playing the astronaut?
Fantasy.
No, I leaned over to John. I said he wants an I Dream of Genie.
Oh.
So you can be the astronaut, Ryan.
But I'm saying you can go way, way the other direction
Yeah.
from Robin Williams.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to think of a Disney movie that I'd love to see a live action version of it, and honestly, I was going to say Tron, but
Bambi.
There's really no movie for me that screams I want to see a live action version of it personally, because I love the cartoons. Maybe it's my personal predilection towards cartoons versus live action a lot of the time.
Yeah, I dig me some cartoons too, man.
But I definitely got to say that the MoMA, I'm interested to see how well he does because he looks badass. They've definitely done the character a lot better justice than anything. It's pretty much what they did with Wolverine in some ways. He's not, wearing some yellow spandex costume. So I'm looking forward to see what he
And
does.
hopefully they learn from their mistakes with the Wolverine offshoot movies. I really hope you guys have learned from your mistakes with the Wolverine offshoot movies. Seriously?
Well,
yeah, the Wolverine Origins thing.
Yeah, that one sucked. And ladies and gentlemen, for Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, thank you for watching.
Goodbye.